guys, welcome back to Dinner Made Easy with Dina, and I'm Dina. Today we are going to be creating a really delicious southern dish, and it is called Southern Style Stewed Chicken. This is a southern classic. It is right up there with those comfort foods that y'all look for in the fall and winter months. This one's so tasty. If you've never tried this, you got to give this a try. The chicken is like fall off the bone tender. However, today I will be using some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So I'm going to take you through it and show you how to make that happen in just a moment. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I am using my Dutch oven, and you can use whatever pan you want. You could use a deep-sided skillet if you'd like, but I prefer my Dutch oven. And I'm going to start it out with about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're going to let that heat up for just a moment while I'm preparing the chicken. I just washed off the chicken, and I want to make sure that it's nice and dry when it goes into my pot so that we get a good sear, because what we're looking for is a good sear on this chicken. Okay. I think I'm going to lay it on my little plastic cutting board here. I want to make sure that I'm not using my wooden one, because that's the one I use for my fresh vegetables and cheese and things like that. So I don't want to cross-contaminate, so I'm being really careful with my chicken. And I'm drying it off. Now my chicken thighs aren't really huge, so it's not going to take very long to brown these. We're not really looking to cook them all the way through. What we want to do is just get a sear on them. And we'll season them as well. Now I'm just going to season these with a little salt and pepper. And once again, this is going to be seasoning to your taste. So if you want to put something other than salt and pepper, you certainly can. But we're going to start with that. So I'm using some sea salt. I'm just going to sprinkle a little sea salt and some pepper. I'm not as tall as my cabinet, so I'm a little challenged reaching up in some of those higher spaces, so it takes me a little bit. Okay, so we have our chicken seasoned, and we're just waiting for our oil to finish heating up. Now we're going to cook these chicken thighs on about a medium high. And I'm going to put them seasoned side down. You don't want to crowd your pan, but I think I can probably get all of them in this pan. I have 5 chicken thighs I'm working with. There you go. So we're just going to let them brown for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. We're going to dice up about 1/2 of an onion. And I have a large onion, and it's a yellow onion. Use whatever onion you have. If you have a yellow or white, or even if you have a sweet onion, that'll work. Okay. We're also going to dice up 1/2 of a yellow, well, this is an orange bell pepper, so I'm just going to give this a quick rinse, and then I'm going to dice 1/2 of this. Just starting to get a nice brown on it. Couple more minutes, and then we're going to pull the chicken out and continue with the rest of our recipe. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop up this orange bell pepper. I think originally people were using green bell peppers, but green bell peppers and I don't get along very well. So I'm going to use the orange one instead. There we go. Okay, we've removed the chicken from our pan, and we're going to put some flour in here, and we're going to just get that browning. So I have about 3 tablespoons of flour that I'm going to add in here, and we're going to make a roux. So we want to make sure that this flour cooks really well so that we don't get that floury taste. And of course my pan's a little warm. There we go. Now I'm going to start off using my wooden spoon, and then when we get ready to put our liquid in, I'm going to switch it over to a wire whip so that we don't have any lumps or any surprises. Okay? So I've turned my burner down to low to brown the flour, because we don't want to burn the flour, because that will leave a burnt flavor taste, and we don't want that flour to taste burnt. We're just kind of coaxing it along to make our roux. And you want to continue to stir. Don't stop stirring, because it's liable to burn if you do. Even though it's turned down to low, my pan is still really warm from cooking the chicken. I cooked the chicken, I seared it on about a medium high. And we just seared it just enough to get some color on it. This is what the chicken looks like. Okay, now we're not worried about that being cooked all the way through, because it's going to finish cooking in the sauce that we're making. This gravy is going to be amazing. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than Southern food for comfort food. Oh, they have got some of the most amazing recipes. And I've learned a lot of them from my father. And some of them I've just picked up along the way. And this is one of them that I kind of picked up along the way. And man, when it's cold out and you want something warm and cozy, this is it. That's what we're looking for. We want it to be brown, not burnt. And we don't want it to be all white, because if it's white, it's not cooked. And you don't want to go to the trouble of making this such a fantastic dish and have the flour not be cooked and then not have that really rich flavor that you're looking for. Now this is going to be served tonight with some mashed potatoes and some of this wonderful gravy over it. Okay, that looks about right. Let's go ahead and get our vegetables put in there. And we just want these to soften up. We're not looking for them to do jumping jacks in the pan or anything like that. We just want to soften them up. And this is going to add wonderful flavor. And I'm going to add just a little bit of sea salt to this right now. And you can season to taste, but I probably put about a half a teaspoon of salt. That's going to help release some of these juices from the onion and the orange bell pepper. We're just going to let those soften up. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the videos, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It really helps my channel out a lot, and I appreciate it very much. It doesn't cost you anything. There's also a little bell next to the subscribe button. If you click on that bell, it will notify you as soon as I have my next videos up. So really appreciate your support, and thanks for watching. We are going to finish up our recipe here in just a moment. Okay, so it's about time for our next step. And what we're going to do next, I'm going to switch from my spoon here to my wire whip. Okay, so I'm going to put some chicken broth in here. And I've chosen to use the low sodium. You can choose whatever level of sodium you'd like for yours. I'm going to start off with about 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And then we're going to stir this around and really get in there and get those bits off the bottom. because that is where there's a ton of flavor. And then we're going to season again. I think I'm going to add just about another half a cup. There we go. Because I want to make sure that we have plenty of liquid for our chicken to cook in, and that we'll have some of that yummy gravy. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little garlic to this, and I'm just going to put about a half a teaspoon worth in there. You can do whatever you'd like, but we're going to try that. Okay, stir that in there. You could have put that in with your aromatics, but I don't like to take a chance that it's going to burn, so I just as soon wait. Make sure that that garlic's not going to burn. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to season it again with just a little bit different seasonings this time. I'm going to use some of my caramelized onion butter, my Kinder's brand, and if you've been watching, you know this is like a new favorite. And I'm going to put probably a half a teaspoon in there. And of course, we're going to go down with some Lawry's seasoning salt because, well, you know, it's the best, in my opinion. Okay, so we got about a teaspoon of that in there. And we're going to go with some more pepper. And that's it. Stir that in really well, and then we're going to put our chicken pieces right back in, and we're going to let this continue to cook. So it's going to stew. It's going to stew in the gravy that we're making, and it's going to continue to thicken and cook that chicken up. This is an absolutely delicious recipe, and I'm telling you, if you have never had Southern style stewed chicken, you're in for a real treat. This is a great meal. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to let it cook. I'm going to turn it to about a medium low, just so it starts to simmer. And I put the lid on that, and we are going to be back to check on this in about 30 to 45 minutes. So we're going to add just a little bit of evaporated milk and let it simmer for another 5 minutes. There we go. And that's just going to add to the creaminess. We got about 5 more minutes, and then this will be ready.
Okay, so my audio quit working right at the time I'm getting ready to do a taste test for you, but I gotta tell you, this came out so good. It's very tender, very, very tasty. This is a perfect comfort food for one of those evenings that you just want to stay in and have something really delicious. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on a video. You guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys.